to the #1 watched female bodybuilding channel in the whole world.
Welcome.
It's called the FBBC.
Yeah.
And JB, who created the name? You or me? I can't remember.
It was both in Romania.
That was 2018?
Yeah.
My original photographer got kicked out by Jim Mannion, remember? For trolling?
Yeah.
For people at home, I was so happy. This is my first job for muscle development. And I brought another. In Norway, we call us for mulatto, like half black, half white. So I said, I want another half black, half white man to do my filming with me. Remember?
Yeah.
David. And then he got kicked out of the whole show.
Yeah.
So JB stepped up to the plate. And from then, who did we have the wrap up with? I think it was
Helle
Trevino.
Yeah, Helle Trevino, yeah. And was it Patrick Tour?
For MD. And they haven't, and you know at MD, they don't have any women's bodybuilding. So for them, it was a complete shocker, wasn't it?
Yeah, complete. But it was a rise. It was great.
A quick thing for people in 2019, we did it for MD again, me and JB, and Natalia Amasonka broke all records on MD with 80,000 views. Remember that interview we did with her?
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
80,000. Cedric only had like 15. Cedric McMillan, the big star, you know?
Yeah.
And she had 80,000.
Yeah.
It's because people love Amasonka, correct?
That's true.
Yeah. We're going to give a little quick news segment before we go into our guest today. Quick, our latest episode of the review. JB, how many hours did you spend on editing?
Well, it was netto 20.
And you found everything.
I found everything.
It has around 10,000 views already by now. And it's only been less than a week.
Yeah, 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah, you feeling good over there, huh?
I'm feeling good, yeah. I'm feeling
and are you also feeling you're looking a little bit sexier. Is this a new haircut you have gotten now, by the way?
And my beard is shorter.
And JB, are you getting sexy for the... There's a women's bodybuilder you have been trying to date, correct?
Yes.
Yes. We won't say the name.
No.
Let me see. Turn around. Let me see back of your head. You're not balding at all, are you?
No.
This is very important, man of your age, and you're not balding. That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm not balding either, but this is very good.
Good genetics.
Great genetics. Anyway, some news, quick news before we get to our interview object. No, is that how you say it? Interview object?
Interview partner or subject.
Subject. The Olympia news are out, or standings, or whatever you want to call it. The top 5 of Miss Olympia usually has been qualified to the Olympia.
Yeah.
Well, usually we didn't have so much Miss Olympia lately, but the last year, they changed the rules.
Yes.
And now it's only the open men, top 5, who gets qualified, meaning the top 3 of the Miss Olympia are qualified, not the top 4 and 5. Yeah. Meaning Una Porsaye and Irene Anderson must qualify. Opinion?
Yeah. Well, first time I saw that, okay, must be a typo of the Olympia committee. But there was no answer, no correction, so they planned it, and I feel not good about it. Because I'm really a person who stands for the equality of women and men, and this is not really good for that. No.
People, you can check on our female bodybuilding Instagram. It's blowing through the roof, by the way. And we want to thank what we like. We love we like the comments, "Oh, you're so sexy and I want to marry you." This is great. But we also like when we have discussions, correct?
Yeah. So
and we are
so please you can also comment below in our YouTube channel and say us your opinion about this. and we are happy to read your comments.
Because if you go to our Instagram, guys, we made a post about it, and there's so many pros and supporters giving their opinions, so you can read that on our Instagram. JB, you can put the post up now, so people can scroll down and see what the opinion of the people are. And we're so happy to have such a big following who follow women's bodybuilding closely and physique and give their opinion. For me, it's obviously it should be the same because it's the ultimate classes. And if they're going to do it, they should have done it before the last Olympia. They should have given the qualification and then all of a sudden change it.
That's true.
I've talked to Mona Porcier. She said it doesn't matter because I already have 11 points. So all I need to do is show up at the Rising looking freaky, and I'm going to get points or win anyway.
But it's going to be difficult because when one lady is winning Tampa or New York Pro, 16 points.
Not winning, because if you're winning, you already qualified.
Yeah, or the second place. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gonna be tight.
So that's her approach. And Irene Anderson is a little bit more tricky because she lives in Denmark, Sweden. I'm sorry. And there's not much going on in Europe other than, well, there is Portugal, there is Spain. So, and now you don't need to do the quarantine to America anymore.
Yeah, God's sake.
You need to be double vaccinated with the same, I think with the same shot, if you know what I mean. You need to have, if it's Pfizer, you have to have 2 Pfizer or 2 whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, and she is vaccinated, both, she said. So let's see where she competes, but she has to compete. So
definitely, at least 2 tournaments.
Then what's been going on lately? Quick thing, Sara Viegas again. She has helped with sponsoring the women's physique show at the Pittsburgh Pro.
Pittsburgh? Yeah, Pittsburgh, yeah. Show,
that's the official show of Mr. Mannion, and they are adding women's physique into it. Last year it was wellness.
Yeah. So
it's great to see we have women's physique, and hopefully in 2023 we will have women's bodybuilding also.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, we go up. Sara Viegas again stepping out, doing her thing to make the sport grow. Quick question about that. I saw on our Instagram. Did you see the comment to Hella Trevino?
No, not yet.
Go to our Instagram, please.
Oh.
And then our little thing that's moving around in the streets, JB. We have seen Brandon Ray, you know, the bodybuilder and also prep coach.
Yeah.
I just talked to him, and he has some exciting projects going on. And one of them is my one favorite to look out for. First, he has now Julia Fury.
Yeah, since last year.
He also has what's the girl we had on, the women's physique girl? Yao, the name.
Angie Yu.
Yeah. Angie, say the name.
Angela Yu.
Yeah. Guys. Breaking news, you heard it here first. Well, obviously, if you follow our Instagram, you hear it there also. But in our YouTube channel, she is doing women's bodybuilding.
And she will. She will.
So, JB, you are the man of women's body. Hey, by the way, I saw that YouTuber called George. What's his name? George,
All the Rage or something.
Yeah, he said he's the emperor of women's. Did I hear him correctly? Did this guy say he, with his 300 views, that he is the? No, I'm just kidding, bro. But anyway, is he saying he's the emperor of women's bodybuilding, bro?
Yes, he said, but I commented one time, we are the masters of the universe of women's bodybuilding.
Okay, the masters of, what's better, the master of the universe or the emperor?
Well, the master of the universe, of course.
Okay. I don't know. But if we're the masters of the universe, that's not true. Jake Wood, what's he then?
I don't know.
Because he has to be the master of the universe. Stop it, bro. We can't
choose.
Be the master. So Jake Wood has to be the master of the universe, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if he's the emperor, what are we? Well, that's for the people to comment. Anyway.
Yeah. Leave in the comment, please. Yeah.
Who is JB super excited to see in women's bodybuilding in 2021? And what do you think she will do?
I'm very excited about coming back of Alicia Young.
Oh,
what I saw lately, and she's going well with her health problems and so on, and she got better and better and better. Saw the last trainings videos and the footage she made, and she will blow us. I think she will blow us. So yeah, it will be Alicia Young, I think.
What show do you think she's doing first? What would you do if you were her? What show?
Of course, one of the Tier 1 shows, of course, for the standings. She also has points, but she needs to have points. So Tampa, maybe. Tampa's good. Yeah.
For Chicago.
Or Chicago, yeah. But she can choose.
New York Pro would be even better.
Yeah, but she can choose because she has the same distance from where she lives and to the points. So
we would also like to invite the ladies to Europe for Spain and Romania and Portugal.
Yeah, of course.
Shows here too.
Yeah, Alicia, please come to Spain, please.
JBB will be your personal assistant, correct?
Yeah, all the time, 24/7.
Hey, relax. So yeah. You're looking at Alicia Young to be the one you're looking out for.
Yeah.
JB.
And you?
We are in the land of women's bodybuilding where the judges do not like size. They don't like the freaky backs and the big delts, but I do.
We do.
And this is why we enjoy women's bodybuilding in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are we living in fantasy land sometimes? What is femininity and all this is nice, but it's beating the girls with size, bro. And this, we no longer can stand back and just watch and say nothing. No. So this year, I'm looking out for Eva Montgomery.
Yeah. Good.
Huge back, and please show her back now. JB, is this one of the best? This has to be the top 3 back in women's bodybuilding, correct?
Yeah. It's
with her and Monique Jones, and who's the other one? Margie,
yeah.
Look at this back, guys at home. Take a look at this back. So Eva Montgomery, she placed sadly 11th at Tampa.
Yeah.
In our women's bodybuilding, most popular Instagram in the world for women's bodybuilding, 83% of you voted she was robbed.
Yeah.
Because she was dwarfing some of the other girls, and the conditioning was good.
Yeah.
But of course, there is some issue with the back compared to the legs, of course. The legs are a little bit compared to the back. They need to add, especially from the back.
Yeah.
But surely this is not 11th place in the land of women's bodybuilding, JB.
But maybe in the land of the judges.
There you go. So anyway, this year she has hooked up with Brandon Ray.
Yeah.
And he has informed me she will be huge, freaky condition, and the legs has already gone up.
Yep. See the last training videos. She's now regular posting on Instagram.
So this is going to be a big year. And if it's not for the judges, because we cannot trust them when it comes to size always, but when it comes to the stealing the hearts of the fans, this will guarantee be a big year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
speaking of Brandon Ray, he has now what's her name again? I always butcher her name.
Angela Yu.
Yeah. She was on our show as a women's physique competitor, and JB, break the news.
She's doing women's bodybuilding.
Say what?
She's doing women's bodybuilding this year.
I'm gonna say what? Anyway, she's doing women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
She's with Brandon Ray. He has Julia Fury. She was also turned pro as what, JB?
Women's bodybuilder?
No, she turned pro as what?
As women's physique.
But she competed as a
women's bodybuilder.
Same as Angie.
Yeah. So
then he has Eva Montgomery, Julia Fury, Angie, and to top it off,
say it.
Who does he just sign as one of his clients?
Mrs. Ingram.
Guys, check her out. CC Ingram, 25 years old, genetic freak. She dominated the land of strength.
Yeah.
She was a protege of Kevin the Hulk, or I don't know if there was a real protege or if it's just Instagram hype. We will find out hopefully in some of our future episodes. But she is strong. She's 25, guys, and she is going to get shredded because she's going to do women's bodybuilding in 2022. Yes.
Yes.
So, JB, this is going to be exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, because we have now such a small, not fight, but competition of the coaches. You know what I mean? You have on one side Brandon M. Ray, who is going to build up the ladies for the women's bodybuilding shows, and then we have on the other side your friend. on the other side,
he has everyone though.
Yeah. So and and
then we have Trey Hodge. I don't know how many he has.
No, we are not up to date. Sorry. Yeah, lately.
Obviously, Shelby. I don't know how many women bodybuilders he has currently, because there's a lot of physique. But does he have so many women bodybuilders?
I didn't see any recently, but this.
So Nasir is currently the king of women's bodybuilding coaching.
Yeah, but more, you know what I mean. But more the physique style, ladies.
Yeah. But obviously, the king is John Simmons, though, because he has Andrea Shaw, and she's dominant.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
But Nasir has taken over Shelby's as the most popular one.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
C'est
vrai, mon ami. Huh? Well,
I'm not sure what you just said, but oui.
It was French. Yeah.
CC Ingram. She's one. It's going to be interesting, but obviously going from a powerlifter, she has a round delts and arms, good back, but obviously being a powerlifter type, slight bodybuilder type, to full on shredded on this NPC stage is very different.
It's very different, but I think she has the ground, the basics, to be a good women's bodybuilder, and
And if she gets promoted, right? You know, in the men, you know, when they find like Dallas McCarver and they put him up to the stars, you know, and now with Nick Walker and how they push Hunter Labrada and making up all these gimmicks, and we need something of that in women's bodybuilding too to make it bigger, correct?
Yeah, and we're doing it.
So CC Ingram, the She-Hulk, correct?
Yeah, the She-Hulk, yeah.
Although, JB, isn't there a women's physique girl who has that name? Lauren the She-Hulk something? I think she's from Canada.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have that same strength as this one, so.
No. Cici posted before on my stories that 2 years ago she made the record with 23 years old. She deadlifted 600 pounds 4 times. 4 times. Wow.
Okay, guys. We want to give a shout out to everyone who's watching. Special shout out to who are our favorite Betty Ona, who's always commenting like a madman on our YouTube.
Yeah.
And also
to George, the Emperor.
The Emperor. Watch his channel. I think it's called, so people, it's great to see people follow supporting women's bodybuilding. I think it's called The Rage, or
The Rage, George,
Yeah. And he has some great insights, of course. Yeah. And also our Instagram most dedicated person is our friend from Romania. What's his name?
Katalin Pusulok.
There you go. Guys, very important that you
subscribe.
Bring!
Bring.
You have to remember to
click the bell.
And in 2022, JB, I predict in my crystal ball, we shall see more size. More size, more condition. And this time the judges will reward it. Correct?
They do.
And we are
out.
Oh, yeah. Welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel. And today we're joined by one of the biggest rising stars in women's bodybuilding, Sheena Ohlig. How are you?
What's up, guys? I'm doing all right. I've been better. As you can see, I have a little contraption on, but I guess we'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
So I'm in a sling right now. I had my shoulder replaced 3 weeks ago, like 2.5 weeks ago. It's a procedure that has been needing to have happened, and I just have been putting it off. So, now with where the Olympia is next year and my competition schedule for next year, I just had to get it in wherever I could, try to get it in early. And so now, I'm on the road to recovery.
When did this happen?
Oh, this is an old injury. A lot of people don't know. I tried not to broadcast, I guess as competitors, we all sort of keep certain things under the rug. But for the last 1.5 years, I've been training and competing with no labrum. So my shoulder was totally detached. Yeah. And it was difficult, but I had to make the decision now to get it fixed so I could have a better year going forward. And it's going to be way more competition, I think, in this coming year. So I've got to pull out all the stops.
How is the recovery going so far? How are you feeling mentally?
Really good. I feel very clear mentally. Feel confident mentally. I don't know. I've always been somebody that kind of looks forward, to the future, very optimistic. So I've already been cleared for physical therapy, which is like literally happening like 2 weeks earlier than they expected. So I think I'm ahead of the curve.
That's good.
When can you start to train again?
6 weeks. So I'm at the halfway mark. I can start training again, upper body in 3 more weeks. Are
you on your diets? Off-season diet?
I'm on my off-season diet.
Good.
Good. Yeah, we had to maintain that body composition. We didn't want to go getting too fluffy, Yeah.
But you did enjoy the New Year's and Christmas a little bit, we hope.
Oh yeah. My coach is really good. He put together an awesome off-season plan. He put together an awesome shoulder recovery plan. So he's in every part of the mix, and we've got a plan going forward. So definitely enjoy the holidays, but definitely enjoy being able to enjoy the holidays without feeling like I was way off track. So that's a good thing.
And that's Trey Hodge, correct?
Trey Hodge.
Yeah. So let's look at last year. I think it was 2020. I often harass Trey Hodge for some Monique Jones updates. And then he says, AJ, I got these new top genetics. We're going to get her away from women's physique, and she's going to be the next big thing in women's bodybuilding. And JB and myself, we're like, okay, let's see. And then you came out, we saw the pictures, and Sheena, what a year. What a year in 2020. Sheena, talk to us about going from women's physique where you placed, what is it, around 8th, 9th, wasn't it? Around there, those type of places, not in the mix to win.
Yeah.
But then you go to Chicago. The best show of the season other than Rising and the Olympia. It was stacked. There was like 20 girls.
Yeah, I couldn't have written it any better, to be honest. I feel like, the universe conspired in my favor to just make it all work together. And I couldn't be more happy or more grateful. Yeah, 2020 was an awesome year. I started working with Trey in 2019, and we did strictly women's physique. He really was the reason why I made such, I think, an impression on my return, because I was out of the circuit for about 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, due to another, you know, physical issue, and we got that fixed. But when I came back, I knew that I needed somebody with an excellent eye, somebody who had, you know, experience and was a champion maker. So I reached out to Trey just because of his roster that he had already, you know, that he was already building. Monique Jones was on there, a bunch of other like awesome people. Charles Dixon was on there. Like a lot of great people were on his roster. And I just thought he would give me, he was the best coach to give me like that one-on-one attention that I needed. But like, I'm also a very hands-off competitor. So like my coach will give me the plan and trust that I make it. I don't need to check in every single day, or like, you know, I don't text and call and like, you know, berate my coach. So 2019 was awesome. I actually placed, the highest I placed in women's physique was 5th place, and that was at the Tampa Pro.
Okay, that's a good show also.
That was a great show. It was phenomenal. Michaela Aycock was there. Actually, that was her debut for women's bodybuilding.
Yep.
Really?
So we go way back.
She got second, I believe, didn't she, in her debut?
Did she get second in her debut? It might have been second or third. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So that year was awesome. 2020, we, you know, had the plan to, you know, just keep the train like moving right along. And he convinced me to switch over to women's bodybuilding literally 3 days before the Chicago Pro, because that was going to be my first show of the year. And he told me to reach out. Actually, he told me to reach out to you too to get your feedback. And it was, you know, we had a couple of like texts back and forth, and you gave me your recommendations. And you know, I trusted in the people that knew a lot about the division, and you guys were following it, and I just trusted Trey. So we did bodybuilding at the Chicago Pro, and I placed 9th at the Chicago Pro. And it was crazy because Steve Weinberger was the head judge, and he actually called me out in the first call out. So I was like, hell yeah, like, can't believe we did this. I was like, this is great. And then like his next moment, like once he got everybody out, I think he called out like 6 or 7 girls. And he was like, 122, step back in line. It was my number. So like he saw me against the other girls. And, you know, at a bodybuilding show, it's always, you know, you go up against who shows up that day. So I think I had a great package, but because we had prepped for women's physique up until that point, I just wasn't big enough or full enough or, you know, conditioned. Well, I was conditioned, but I couldn't stand up next to the girls because of the size. So it opened up my eyes though for what was possible for women's bodybuilding. And then the feedback that I got from obviously Alina Popa and Linda Murray was phenomenal. And it just like revved me up. It's just like, I mean, I was just amped for it. I was like, okay, so let's do it. I didn't do another women's bodybuilding show that year. We did plan to do Arizona, but since it was a invitation only, I couldn't do bodybuilding there because, you know, you had to be invited. So I did women's physique, again, placed 9th. So just right out of that top mix. And it just goes to show sort of where the division was going. You know, they were really making a clear split between the type of physiques that they wanted in physique versus women's bodybuilding. Then
just to stop you 1 second there. So the reason why when I also showed JB the pictures, we said women's bodybuilding, you should go, because Sheena, look at the muscle bellies. This is not something you can train to have. This is given to you by something. It's incredible muscle bellies.
Oh, thanks.
The skin is like beautiful, thin skin, the roundness in the delts and the back double bi. And Sheena, one of the best abs and thighs in the game. You know, women's bodybuilding, we don't have so many great ab shots for whatever reasons. I don't know why. Is it maybe because some of it's older athletes, or some have moved from powerlifting, or I don't know what it is, but you have those things that would really separate you. And the way the sport now is changing with what can we say? You don't have to be like a mass monster if you can. Not, I don't want to use the word monster, but JB doesn't like when I say mass monster. But anyway, you don't have to be that huge even though Andrea Shaw is huge, but you have to be streamlined, you have to be athletic, you have to be the round muscle bellies. These are things that's rewarded, and you have everything of that. So it was Chicago Pro. You are thinking in your head, okay, rising, I'm going to do the women's bodybuilding to Chicago. Tell us through rising to Chicago. How was the training for your real women's bodybuilding debut?
Yeah, so after the Arizona Pro, the end of 2020, we pulled all the stops. We said we're going full out women's bodybuilding, and we did sort of like it was a very abbreviated off season. So we tried to do our best to pack on some size, pack on some fullness. My diet changed completely from women's physique to women's bodybuilding, just to kind of keep the muscle bellies full, like you were saying. And, to really help create that appearance of that fullness for the physique to fill me out in certain places. And I was just really happy with the off season. So we decided to do Chicago Pro because of the amount of time. So it was really just a logistics thing.
Can we stop you one question? We're just answering some questions while you talk, so we can, because we have a lot of different viewers, a lot of young athletes that watch it. So we want to know, when you've been prepping for women's bodybuilding for the first time, really, and you say adding size, is this the food that's the main difference, or do you have to increase supplementation intake, or what's the main difference? Because you've been physique for a long time, and now all of a sudden you have to add a lot of size. What's the main difference?
Really, the main difference, food for sure. Food for sure, because the nutrition plays such a pivotal role in how your body carries out through training and conditioning. So we increased my food so that I would be able to really power through the training sessions. My cardio decreased a little bit, even though it was still, substantial. But with women's physique, because I was on the bigger side for women's physique, I was constantly dieting down. So I was constantly in a depletion mode, and it was, it was constantly pulling, and along with the cardio, versus like feeding me up for my training session so that I'd be able to move the weight, so I'd be able to carry the intensity and the workload during the training sessions. My volume went down just a little bit in terms of like rep ranges, whereas before with women's physique, I was training still moderately heavy, but like higher reps. So like that 15-20 rep range. Whereas with women, training for women's bodybuilding, I was training for hypertrophy in certain areas, detail in certain areas. So my rep range sometimes would go down to 8 to 10 or 10 to 12, but really never over 15 in a sense. Depending on what part of the prep we were in, closer to the show, your rep range sort of goes up higher because it's not so much about building the muscle, but bringing out the detail. And then my food, instead of maybe 2 meals of carbs a day where I was with women's physique, I'm up to 3 and 4 meals of carbs, the oats and the white rice and the sweet potatoes, they're in my meals before workouts and after workouts. So the diet for sure. And of course, supplementation plays a role, because you have to give your body the extra nutrients where it can get it in order to recover properly, in order to have the endurance and the stamina through your workout. So the supplementation and the diet 100% are super important. But I already trained like an athlete, trained like a bodybuilder. So for me, for women's physique, it was always about pulling back and like putting the brakes on, and like not going all out for legs, not going all out for back, just so I could fit into the category. But now, since we were moving into bodybuilding, I was able to sort of, just have more fun with it.
Why didn't you do this before?
I never really saw myself as a bodybuilder in the sense of having enough size or density for it. I loved the lines of women's physique. I was one of the first pros when the women's physique division came out. So I sort of just had my roots, my sort of, I was clawed in. And it just took a little while for me to mentally be able to see myself as a bodybuilder, as even worthy of being a bodybuilder, to step on stage with, the likes of Linda Murray, Iris Kyle, and, Alina Popa, these people that have gone before us and really made an impact and shown what women's muscle is about.
Quick about that. Isn't it epic, the evolution from Dana Lynn Bailey to Sarah Viegas in women's physique? It's like
a totally different division now.
Wow.
It's totally different. It's totally different. I mean, I was actually just looking at some old pictures of myself when I first started women's physique, and I look at it like, oh my God, I look so stringy. I look so small. Like these physiques that they were awarding look nothing like the physiques of today, you know? So it's epic. It definitely is epic, the evolution.
That's why me and JB, we can't even see the difference between physique and women's bodybuilding no more. It's all a big, who knows?
I mean, come on. JB, what do you think? I mean, I think it's essentially just a lightweight and a heavyweight, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
sorry, that's true. But
yeah.
I just remember, I was in 2015 or 14. I was ranting about it because on that stage, because Olympia was dropped, Miss Olympia was dropped then, and then I saw the last competition I saw in 2015, and I saw the women's figure class in Canada, and I thought, boop, they looked like the women's physique girls today. So it's a little bit different because going up and down and so on. And so,
well, the girls want to get bigger because the judges can only reward what they see, correct?
Correct.
It's true. So
it is what it is. So Chicago Pro, and finally we have that year in the world of bodybuilding. We weren't that blessed because there was small shows with few athletes. The stars were hiding. They were doing shows later. It was small lineups. Myself and JB got frustrated. We didn't know what was going on because it was such a great 2020 for women's bodybuilding. So we couldn't believe what was going on. But then we saw the bright lights. We saw Stephanie Fleischer, Christina Nicole, and you in the middle. 3 new names, young, beautiful girls. They say women's bodybuilding is, some say it's not marketable, blah, blah, blah. And then we have the 3 models in the middle. Acting it out. I think you were a former model, correct?
I did some modeling, yes, but I wouldn't call myself a model. You know, I've had some pictures taken and I've done some modeling shoots, but that's so weird. That's never been my idea of myself because I've always been an athlete. So, you know, I've been a jock my whole life.
So we have 3 models in the middle fighting for the win. And it was closer between you and Christina. And this was a great, great matchup. How did you feel after prejudging? Because most people had you. I remember we had a story in our women's bodybuilding because we screen record the show and we post them up in our stories. I think it was 52-48 to you. I can't remember.
It was close.
You had better conditioning. You were a little bit better symmetry. She had a little bit more size in her legs and I can't remember exactly what it was, but how did you think after prejudging?
I was blown away after prejudging, to be honest. I mean, it was surreal because, you know, when they called us out and, you know, I heard my number called and they moved me to the middle. I think they made one move, like they put me in between. I think they moved Steph first. So they put Stephanie on the outside and then they moved me in between Christina Nicole and the other young woman. I can't remember her name at the moment, but when they didn't move me and they kind of had me, Steph and Christina sort of just in that middle part, just in the mix. I just remember the energy of the crowd and stepping off of the stage. And, you know, even Steph turned to me and just said, "Damn, girl, you crushed it." And I'm like, do you think so? Like, I'm still like, it's not registering to me. So like after prejudging, I'm like walking back to the room. I have Trey on the phone and like, we do a FaceTime and I'm like, "Coach, what do you think I need to do? Am I soft? Am I watery? Oh my God, what do I have?" And he's off. And he's like, "Chill, like, I think you're okay." So, you know, we sort of kept everything steady. Like we didn't make any major changes. We didn't try to do anything drastic. And he told me to go eat something. So I ate, you know, I had like a burger and fries with like ketchup and salt and all the sauces. And I think the stress from prejudging, that little bit of time that we have to just decompress, helped me de-stress a little bit. I dropped a little bit more water, I think, and probably came in a little tighter even for finals. And I think that's really where it registered. That's really where it landed, because even after prejudging, I'm just thinking like it's a toss up. It could be either of us. Like, I didn't look at prejudging. I didn't, I didn't have anybody send me videos. People were sending me videos and screenshots and stuff, and I tried not to look at it. But in the moment when you're on that stage, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't count how many people are next to me or beside me, so I didn't know exactly what it was, but I definitely knew it was tough. The girls were so good. When I say that the competition was so good, like backstage, the camaraderie was amazing, the energy was amazing. Everybody was like laughing and joking around and sort of just, it was a light energy in the back, and like we were just rooting for each other. It's actually, I think 2 or 3 girls actually jumped up into women's bodybuilding, so it wound up being a bigger group than we had even anticipated, but everybody was just so excited to be there.
No, it was fantastic. It was the best 3-girl lineup there in the other shows than Rising Olympia. It was great. It was what's your favorite, JB? What's your favorite shots of Sheena?
Don't hold back.
No,
don't be nice.
I'm always nice. No, I can goodly remember, but like AJ said, was the ab shot. This was was great because when you see in comparison, the abs were very good from your contestant competitors, fellow competitors, but your ab shot was
and the quads, the way
so
they
good.
feather and I love the side tricep with your leg out. The old school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that's the side triceps you have to keep, correct?
I love that. That's actually, that's probably one of my favorite shots, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's awesome, JB. When she does the one leg behind, like who does it now?
A little bit, yeah.
No, it's fantastic. And your back double bi is great.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's another reason, hopefully the plan for this season is to improve upon my back double bi, obviously. With this shoulder surgery, that's going to be more possible because you can't, I don't know if you could tell, I'm obviously my own self worst critic, but I was unable all season to really like rotate and like pin the, really spread through the back and like rotate the elbows and like really get that, isolation. So with this procedure, hopefully that's improved and I'm able to do that because I think it really affected my posing. And I'm looking forward to being able to refine my posing even more.
Then we go to Rising Phoenix, your first ever where the big boys, girls play, as we say. Here, there's no more. Here we need some size and conditioning, correct? Well, conditioning we all had there, but here we have the size, correct? The Andrea Shaw, the Heller Trevinos.
I think the all-stars really show up. Obviously, this is it's an invitational. So you have the all-stars of the sport, of the division here, and everybody knows their body. Everybody knows what to do to bring a good package. And some people may have been off the mark. I think we all, are very skeptical of ourselves in certain respects. But you have the Andrea Shaws, you have even Mayla Ash, like the ones that placed top 5 at the Olympia last year, Irene Anderson, and you look at these people, Hella Trevino, and backstage you're just looking at these like icons really, and it's just like, oh my God, what is this? So for me, it just was about stepping on stage and enjoying myself. It was a late sort of prep for me because I didn't have any intentions on doing the Rising Phoenix.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So they gave me like a invitation, probably it was like 2 weeks before the show. And at that point, I'm really sort of in like a little rebound between Chicago going into the Olympia. So we sort of had to, pivot real quick. So there was, I took it as an experience, a learning experience. I hate to say this, but I didn't go in intending to win. I knew that would take way more preparation, especially to dethrone like, an Andrea Shaw or even Hella Trevino. But I was happy with how things turned out. I didn't even have the hairstyle really that I wanted.
You didn't,
but I had to do it. I had to do it. I wanted to step on stage and I didn't want anything to stop me. So that was fine.
Some quick questions before the Olympia. We have some interesting questions. People are going on. Women's bodybuilding, it has a long history. and it's changing a lot now with the criteria. Your opinion, a girl like Irene Anderson with tremendous size, if she's in condition, should a smaller, almost women's physique athlete be able to beat her, for instance? Or are you familiar with a girl called Natalia Korableva, for instance, the girl in Romania?
For sure.
Yeah. What's your opinion of them losing when they have 30 pounds of more muscle in the women's bodybuilding contest?
I'm a fan of muscle, so I love a woman that has, significant muscle mass and, balance. I think that it all depends on the package that they bring. It is bodybuilding. So there are many aspects of the competition. It's not just mass. It's not mass building. It's bodybuilding. So you have to have the balance, the symmetry, the definition, the conditioning. And I saw Cora Believe. I don't want to butcher her name.
Yeah, the Russian.
She looked phenomenal. She looked phenomenal. I mean, you have the feathering in her quads.
But she got beat by a women's physique girls.
And you know what? I say that I think there are still some very small-minded, people at the top who are making those calls. I think that it's going to take some time. I think it needs to be an evolution, but I also can't say that the judges were right or wrong, because it depends on the judges when they're looking, who they're judging against, and also the criteria. Like, did they see her as balanced? Did they see her as top heavy or bottom heavy or boxy? What were the things that took away from her points that put her in a position to be beat, or that gave her points to put her in a position to be beat?
Because also at the Rising Phoenix, we have an all-female, judging panel and host, and it's celebration of all the female classes, and this is great. But sometimes the bikini judge, I don't think that's always the best to have equality and you know what I mean. Women rights. This is great.
I follow.
No, JB, we all are for women rights and all this, and we don't watch women's bodybuilding in our mind and think women rights. We just think women's bodybuilding. This is epic. So by having an all-female judging panel and have bikini girls judge our beloved class, is this right or wrong? Don't answer it, because you're going to compete. So anyway,
I would stand by my opinion. I mean, I think I could give a democratic answer.
PC, politically correct.
A politically correct answer. But I'll let JB answer first.
No, JB, what do you think about that?
Yeah. Bikini judging doesn't disqualify any judge in the first place. So they know the rules and they have to follow the rules and judge like the rules. But if that we have that result, then in our wall, maybe you can blame that because of that. But
you are aware Ariane Anderson, JB, in that show got like 12th or something.
Yes, I know that, because that's like I say, because we don't. I have my theory, and it's always often proven that the head judge is the main thing who does the last result, Yeah. And so if you have the head judge as leading judge and say, okay, let's judge this way or judge that way, you have to know it. So
anyway, then we go into the Olympia. Your first, Sheena, miss. And first of all, before we talk about the Olympia, do you know what picture I have on my living room wall?
No, what do you have?
I have the picture of you and Andrea Shaw in the black dress. Oy, 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 oy. JB, this picture is something special. Sheena, you look like, I don't know what happened. This is very incredible. This is epic, correct?
I guess we clean up all right. Me and Andrea, yeah. Sure.
Yes. So, Miss Olympia, how are you feeling going into your first ever as a pro show winner into a Miss Olympia?
My mind was blown. I was super excited. I had so much support. around me, family, friends, the people at my home gym, everything. So I was just really just fired up. I was excited just to be there, just to be going. And then, you know, there was a lot of pressure too, just to, you know, stand up on that stage and, you know, show up my best. There was a lot going on, to be honest. I have to tell you, over this last year and a half, you know, unfortunately, my mom was really sick. Like I mentioned at the Chicago Pro when they did like the after show interviews, like my mom has been really sick. Thankfully, she's on the road to recovery now. She recently received a transplant, so you know, I'm confident that she'll, you know, return to her normal self really soon. But it was really difficult, you know. So I was grateful that I had the success that I had at Chicago Pro, and I dedicated that win to my mom because she's always been, you know, my biggest fan and very supportive. And even going into the Olympia, it was just so overwhelming, you know, running back and forth between my mom's house to take care of her, doing her shopping, doing her errands, getting her to and from doctor's appointments, you know, good days and bad days, getting to the gym, you know, still, you know, working through my own personal life, my social life, my relationship, you know, work, you know, running an organization. Like it was just a lot. And I think that all of us as competitors, we can identify with the amount that we carry on our shoulders. So believe it or not, I was just optimistic about going, and I was just wanting to take in every minute of the experience. So I didn't necessarily have it in my head, oh, I got to go there and I got to win. Yes, I want to win. Yes, I want to place really well. But I trusted in Trey to, you know, write up the plan. I followed the plan. And I think I took a really good package up on stage. You know, I know where I have to improve. And, you know, the feedback that I got from the judges, I totally agree with. And I know where I need to work to improve. So I'm excited for that. But there's nothing in this world that could knock me off of cloud nine, even to this day, for getting to the Olympia.
A little question about that is, did you see Margie or Helle close with Andrea Shaw or no?
In different ways, 100%. I think, you know, they all have their strengths. I think, you know, Helle brought a crazy package. I think her conditioning, the evolution of her shape in just the last, like, I think it was maybe a month or two, she switched coaches going into the Olympia. I think that was outstanding. I think it was phenomenal. Margie just has an absolute rockin' personality. Nobody can contest with her legs, with, you know, her charisma, with her presentation. And, you know, she's a beautiful person. I actually have to give a shout out to Margie because she's a big reason why I did so well at the Chicago Pro. We've been in contact. She reached out to me. She's, you know, even as a top tier, top 3 Olympian, she is out here giving back and embracing her competitors. So as me, as a competitor, even though I'm, you know, coming up the ranks, she reached out to me and, you know, really took me under her wing and helped me tweak a few things about my presentation, just, you know, about the poses, about, you know, prepping, peaking, all that. And so to see her up there in the top 3, I think, I mean, it could have been a toss up just depending on what the judges wanted to see and where they wanted to take the division. I think Andrea really had a stronghold on it though, just because of her phenomenal freaking symmetry, her balance, you know, her muscle bellies, the fullness of her muscle is just, I don't know, she's just a total package, you know, and I think she's a really great ambassador for the division.
Yeah, JB, you actually had who winning?
I was Margie.
Yeah, Margie, that's my girl.
And I told you we had Andrea Shaw last week. I told JB, we're not gonna talk about that. We said, hey,
yeah,
no.
Maybe because I'm more the friend or the fans, this can say, of this look of Margie. You know what I mean? Just the broader back and the shoulders around and traps, and so it was, yeah. But it was just a tick, you know. So sorry.
No, Margie has that incredible freak factor with those quads and the back, and it's just cartoonish. What do you call it? Illusion, correct? Like cartoonish proportions. So it's very. We really enjoy that. But before we talk about what's going on this season, we got to give you a lot of respect because the men, at the Olympia, most of them, they are sponsored athletes, and they train and then they are their Instagram and that's it.
Yeah.
That's not just it. That's not fair to say, but you know what I mean? It's a little bit different because they make their money. But as you said, taking care of your mom, what you said, running a business. What does this mean? Organization, I'm sorry.
Oh, we run a nonprofit for substance abuse and mental health recovery. So we're a co-occurring agency here in New Jersey, and we treat individuals who struggle with substance abuse and mental health challenges.
Okay. How much time does this take out of your week?
Any and all time that's not spent in the gym or running errands. So essentially I'm essentially like the stand-in executive director because of how my mom's health has been. So right now I'm essentially taking over the roles for developing and planning our business model. So any questions that the counselors have, hiring, referral sources, grant writing, all of that, I'm taking care of and, overseeing. So, it's definitely a lot to juggle. But thankfully we could do this remotely. So if I'm available by phone or by computer, or by, FaceTime and virtual. So it's been easier for us to do the work versus me having to go into the office and stay in those four walls. So that does, that helps. And that makes it a little bit more, flexible.
Is there a reason why how you get drawn to this type of work?
Actually, it was the organization was founded by my mom. So that's why I'm so vested. So it was founded by my mom back in 2005, 2006. And we're licensed by the state of New Jersey as an agency, a nonprofit organization, to do this kind of work. And being that she's been out really sick for the last 2 years, my brother and I, it's a family run organization. So, we're all sort of involved. And my brother and I have sort of stepped up to the plate to carry, to carry the torch.
How much hours sleep do you even get on the prep with all this going on? Because
who sleeps?
No, stop it. How much hours realistically each day? Are you getting like 6 hours at least?
4 or 5.
Oh my God.
Maybe 4 or 5 on a good day where, my body's just slammed and I decide to sleep in. It's like 6. I think at the most I've ever gotten in it. I've always just had a trouble sleeping, but then having to carry on so much, it's definitely impeded on my sleep time. But yeah, like on a good day, maybe 6 or 7, but like generally 4 or 5.
Wow. So this is so you just pure instinct, pure drive, you're just going on, correct?
Yeah, pure drive, fire, adrenaline. I'm a Gemini too, so I'm just always all over the place. So I think naturally my brain is like
yeah. Incredible. So 2022 is here. You are starting to train in 6 weeks. Everything is going to go well. We can already see the future.
Yeah.
What show are we going for the first pro show of 2022?
Oh, you're looking for some intel, huh?
Of course.
Yes.
Well, just to set the record straight, training has not stopped. I've been in the gym even with the shoulder surgery. So I was out of the gym maybe for a week of like strict, like nothing, the week of the procedure. But I've been in the gym 3 or 4 times a week, splitting up my leg routine, getting in cardio. So just, maintaining the body composition and trying to improve in areas where, I need to grow, getting into the hamstrings, getting into the glutes, making sure that I, keep my legs full, not losing anything so that when it is time to train for a full prep, I can, hit the ground running for sure.
So what's the show?
Oh, that wasn't enough. I thought that was going to distract you guys.
No.
No, I don't mind. Listen, so ideally, I want to go back and defend the title at Chicago Pro. That's really where I have my eyes set on. It was really exciting to see that Linda Murray is now taking over the Atlanta show. So
the show. Yeah.
Atlanta is definitely on the radar as well, because I think Atlanta is actually before Chicago this year. So I think
when is Atlanta? It's in July.
It's July. I think it's the first or second week of July, and then the Chicago Pro is going to stay and like the 23rd, like the last week, but it's going to be back in Chicago this year, which I'm really excited about because I've been wanting to get to Chicago. So what better way? But definitely want to defend the title at Chicago. So for sure. Up in the air again is Linda Murray's new show in Atlanta. So the Atlanta Pro. And maybe even, I think after that is, I think Trey mentioned Savannah, but I'm not sure. Hopefully I don't have to plan for any show later than that because I'll take the win at
That's
Atlanta.
good. Because then you have three shows and you're going to get the win in one of them anyway. So, but if all fails and you get 3 seconds, if all fails and get seconds, it's not that big of a fail, but that's the Olympia qualification right there. So that's smart. Well, JB, sounds like a good plan, doesn't it?
Definitely good plan. You have enough time beforehand. You have good distance to the Olympia and Rising Phoenix. So top decision.
But JB, let me ask you.
Yeah.
I know what I would do, but let's see what Sheena's going to say. So JB, let's say she wins. She does 2 shows. She wins Chicago and she's qualified. There's no point of doing Savannah then, obviously.
No.
Is there any point of prepping for Rising again? Isn't it better just to go straight into Olympia? Because Rising is how many months is that before the Olympia this time?
Well, now it's going to be 2 because I think they're going to September, October. No, it's going to be 3. I think they're moving it to September because last year it was October. So
to compete in July, JB, to prep for July, then you have to prep for September, then you have to prep for December. Is this smart?
It depends on. Not in general. Not no.
What do you want to do, Sheena? Are you doing Rising, Sheena?
If I'm invited, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think what makes it different is a couple of factors. Number one, it's women's bodybuilding. So just for the culture of it all, I think the top competitors have to show up to keep the division in the limelight, to showcase all of the competitors. It's not like, unfortunately, we don't have the grab or the attention like the men's bodybuilders do, where they can just do one show and that's it. Like, okay, they qualify and then everything else is off the table and they're just focusing on the Olympia, or they do the Olympia and they make top 5 and then they could just prep for the Olympia the next year. There's so many men's bodybuilders out there, and the division is so big and well known that they can afford to do that. I think the top competitors in women's bodybuilding have to show up for the Rising Phoenix because of the gravity of the show. And also just as competitors, if you have an opportunity to win a car, to win that prize money, you also have to look at your competition as a business. I mean, as a competitor, this is a business as well. So it just makes fiscal sense.
We're going to take out Andrea Shaw this year at the Rising, Sheena?
We're going to take out Andrea Shaw. I love her. That's my girl. But the goal is always to win, for sure.
Yeah.
I need that car. So
she already has 2 now, doesn't she?
She already has 2. Yeah.
She does.
And my car was just totaled. So that gives me a little bit more encouragement.
So we are surprised what car this year we're going to be.
It's going to be
I really hope. I mean, I'm positive. I mean, Jake has really good taste. Wings of Strength team has really good taste. So I think they're going to do something epic.
Yeah.
Rising is the car, the first prize, the posing award, the video award, the most muscular award, the best teeth award. There's so many awards that it's fantastic.
Yeah, it gives us an opportunity to shine. I think it gives the women's bodybuilders a real opportunity to capitalize on their strengths and make an impact. And, it's not just about the ones who win, but like you said, the video contest and the, posing contest, like it gives us an opportunity. And I think that's really what's missing from the division.
And it's one of the fans' favorite because some athletes say the contact from the fans to the athletes is in Arizona very close. You know, in Olympia you are so far away because of the entry fees and so on. It's very high, but in Rising Phoenix you can get close to the athletes and enjoy the company from the fans and all the relatives coming on and so on. It's really much better
with
than Olympia.
no Arnold Classic, it's for women's bodybuilding. This is very important to keep it the top athletes. JB, say something to Sheena before I ask the final question, or give me your feedback on the interview to Sheena, JB.
Well, it was great to have you here, Sheena. Thank you very much that you come on.
It was a pleasure to be here. You guys are great.
Yeah, AJ is great, not me. So
okay. Stop that, JB. Stop.
No, okay. I'm just curious about. You have this organization running, you have your sports running, and you know it's injury, and I know that in USA it's not very let's say cheap to get injured and so on. May I ask how do you get this managed? Do you have a good job or something else you have also to supply?
Well, sure. I mean, as I run the organization, you know, it does pay me a salary. So that's a good thing about running. That's a good thing about nonprofits. Even though they're nonprofit, they don't necessarily run with the aim of profiting off of the work that we do. The contracts and the billing and everything that we put out, the, claims that we put through insurance affords us an opportunity to pay our counselors and our clinicians and our, supervisors and our executives salaries. So that's always helpful. And I do, coaching, virtual coaching on the side. So I do have an opportunity, to make an income that way. And I just started my own apparel line. So quick shameless plug there. I just started my apparel line called Rare One Apparel, and it stands for Rep After Rep. So hopefully we can plug that and just put it out there. It's a line made by an athlete for athletes. And, the idea really is just to press on, obviously rep after rep. We do it 1 rep at a time to do the work. But also just with the aim and the culture of being, of having high integrity and loyalty for sure.
Before I ask the final, talk us a little bit more about the clothing line. What type of talk more about it. What type of things can we buy there? What makes your brand better than other brands?
My brand is better than other brands because it's built, it's designed by me, pressed by me, created by me. The logo, the tagline, the model, the culture of the brand is designed by me for athletes like myself and, those coming up, bodybuilders, yoga people, practitioners, fitness enthusiasts, really for anybody that lives in and out of the gym. It's designed to be a clothing line that you don't mind wearing in or out of the gym. There's for those of us that spend so much time in the gym, there's very little there's so much crossover between going to the gym and then running your errands and then going in and out of the office and then, running to the mall or running to go grocery shopping. So the clothes are made so that you can train in them. And then you're also comfortable wearing them because, they're pretty swaggy, if I do say so myself, hoodies, t-shirts, thermals, leggings, joggers. The leggings haven't come out yet, but we're working on developing that. The men's line is coming out soon. Baseball caps. So I'm excited about just the swag of it all. Just has, my own personal flair and touch. So hopefully people like it.
Do they have a special, also regarding the shape from the women's bodybuilder? Like, because they have always a problem because the
that's
sizes,
true. That's true. So that was one of my main focuses is making sure that the clothes fit well and aesthetically for women with, more athletic frames. So the sizes are meant to fit us. They're tapered in certain areas. The legs or the joggers are tapered in certain areas to hug and grab, but also give a good fit around the waist. Longer arms for those of us who are taller, fuller back, wider, sizes for those of us with wider backs and arms. I can't tell you the last time I've if I didn't tear out of a shirt, there's certain material that I have to wear because of my shoulders or my arms or my back. So that's definitely a consideration. Yeah.
So recommend that.
Well, Sheena, it's been when Trey said it last year, we were excited, but we didn't know it was going to be a slam dunk. It so far it was fantastic. but now it's time to step up into that top 6 at the big shows.
That's it.
So you know what you're gonna do. Thank you for a great interview. It's been one of the more interesting interviews we've had. You're a great speaker. You are motivational. You are, what can we say? Like not a fake role model. You know what I mean? You're not just here for the gram, as they say.
Yeah, no. I got to do better at posting on the gram. I promise I'm going to work better at that.
You are horrible at
but yeah, obviously, you know, there are certain things that we have to do as athletes to, you know, keep our visibility up, to keep, you know, stay engaged. And I'm looking forward to that because I do want to be a role model as such. But, you know, I want to set a precedent and be able to, you know, connect with the people who support us. You know, there are so many fans out there, supporters that look for that contact and that engagement, and I think they deserve that because, you know, they're the ones who really keep us going.
So people are sending footage. You can post it on YouTube.
There you go.
Thank you for your time, and we can't wait. This summer it's going down, correct?
Going down.
There you go.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you guys.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.